Good afternoon from PNC Park. Today on Father's Day, we've got baseball for you. The Pirates and the Reds here from PNC Park, and the Pirates are looking for a 3-game series sweep of Cincinnati. What better gift than a baseball game? Maybe a chance for a broom for Dad here today. And welcome into the booth. Joe Block and Bob Walk with you here this afternoon as the Pirates look to keep things rolling. And one of the foundations of winning games we've seen the Pirates do a little bit better at lately, that is starting pitching, and we're seeing that turn into a positive trend for the Pirates.
Yeah, I agree with you there. If you're going to have a winning season, a winning baseball team, you better build that foundation of a good, solid starting rotation to begin with. And we went through a little period where we were losing a lot of ball games, but now we're turning it around, getting back to the wins, and it's no surprise that really it's the starting rotation is leading the way. You see what they've been doing of late, keeping the ball in the ballpark. That's always important. Look at only half of a home run. That's only, what's that, like a 150-foot fly ball?
Yeah, that's not going to get you very much. Joe Musgrove so far 4 starts into his Pirates career. He has been very good.
Oh, he's been better than very good. Everything he does has been impressive. The pitching, of course, is the most important of all of that, and he has had great command of all of his breaking pitches, his plethora of pitches that he throws. But another thing, he does all the other stuff great too. The hitting, running the bases, playing defense. You couldn't ask for a better player right now, not just a pitcher, than Joe Musgrove.
Now he'll get the nod for the Buccos here on Father's Day. No better tradition than celebrating Father's Day at the ballpark. And a baseball game with you. Pirates and the Reds coming up next here from PNC Park.
Use hashtag HatsOffForHeroes. T-Mobile will donate $1 for each post. And by the law firm of Bordas & Bordas. Bordas & Bordas, fighting for justice. Let's go Bucks!
Hope you're having a great Father's Day here at the ballpark. Pirates and the Reds in the series finale. Pirates going for a 3-game sweep. They've won 3 in a row. Very grateful for my 2 children and They're going to be here at the ballpark today, so that's fun. Happy Father's Day to you too, Bob.
Thank you, Joe. My kids are gathering at the house probably. I don't know if they're there yet. Soon. I'll get the grill going. I'll be joining them after this one's over.
That sounds great. Thanks for being a part of the Pirates today. We're glad to be a part of your Father's Day. And Joe Musgrove just getting started in his Pirates career, and he has made an impression already.
Oh, he sure has. During the open, I was talking about how well he's pitched, of course, but it's more than that with him. A lot of it, I guess, goes back to that slide at second base. I mean, right away he opened up everybody's eyes to this is not your run-of-the-mill pitcher right here. That the way he plays, and I think that's the type of player, pitcher, whatever you want to say, that really plays well here in Pittsburgh. They love to see that kind of hard-nosed action. And he's pretty darn good throwing the baseball also, which is job one when you head to the middle of that diamond.
Great to see the kids out here. Always a Sunday tradition. And here on Father's Day, the special caps and socks for the players. Now, who does Musgrove have to retire today? The Reds lineup: Scott Schebler back atop the order with Jose Peraza moving up in front of Votto, Jeanette, and Suarez. Those three very tough to get out, with Duvall back in the lineup. Kurt Casale is the catcher. Pitcher bats eighth in front of the 9-hitter Billy Hamilton. Just a gorgeous afternoon.
Take a look at Joe's numbers. Just a handful of starts, but still, it's been a very impressive first 4 starts in his Pirate career. That's the thing that I like the best. If you want me to pick out one thing, it has been his control of just about everything he throws. His whole arsenal. It's not like he just has a couple pitches he throws up there. You don't really know where they're going. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's the fastball, a cutter, a changeup, whatever. He's trying to hit a spot with that particular pitch.
Has very good command. Does rely on the defense occasionally too. The Honda defense today with Austin Meadows manning center field today. Dickerson, Polanco flank him. Moran, Mercer, Harrison, and Bell around the horn. Francisco Cervelli do the catching of Musgrove today. Great couple of plays by Meadows yesterday in the field. He'll make his 11th start in center at the deke that he had off the wall and right. And then some good throws out there. Speaking of good throws, Cervelli has thrown out 35% of attempted base stealers. In case Hamilton does get on today, that'll be a nice little challenge there. Scott Schebler will start it off for Cincinnati. Nice warm and sunny afternoon. Happy Father's Day. Didn't get all of it. Time to go track it down. Sounded like he might have cracked his bat on that.
Yeah, it might have several cracks. That one really did not sound good and did not get any travel out of it.
Tim Timmons, the home plate umpire today.
Looking for slivers.
Yes. Drake, Winters, and Malinsky, the other umps.
Need a room in a dustpan to pick up that bat.
Not just some firewood. Store that away. Musgrove wearing the cap today. Looked like writing some initials on there, presumably for Dad. Father Mark. Jose Peraza. He's been swinging a hot bat. You look down at the Reds and you see that they're still in the bottom third of teams in scoring runs this year. That doesn't add up when you look at some of the key players in their lineup.
I think the horrible year that Hamilton's having right now is kind of messing them up. And Duvall, he's had some home runs, but At this point in the season, he's still hitting below 200, well below 200. There's two your everyday starting outfielders that aren't doing anything close to really what they, I'm sure, were expecting out of them.
That's kind of been the theme. The Reds were supposed to make a bit of a jump this year. Lately have been the cellar dwellers. And 2 quick outs for Musgrove. And they still have some stalwarts, of course, in their order. And time for our AT&T Achieving More. And no one achieves more in the Reds lineup than Joey Votto. Look at the ranks among active players, playing in his 1500th career game today. Best in on-base percentage among all current players. I don't think that's much of a surprise. He has always been very, very good at that. And of course, plenty of power to go with it. This year, just 6 home runs and has not homered in more than a month.
And that's playing all of his home games and one of the absolute best home run hitting ballparks there is. So you start really kind of breaking things down, and you kind of like, well, okay, Votto's not hitting home runs. And, Duvall's hitting a .190. Hamilton's hitting a .187. And there's some problems on that offense.
Trying to take care of Votto. Makes it 1-2. Jim Riggleman, the interim manager. Yeah, the slow start for the Reds. They began 3-15. Brian Price was asked to leave, and now the 5th team that Riggleman has managed throughout his long baseball career. Little hello to Votto.
That ball actually, though, was right over the plate. Votto's reaction made it look like it was way inside. No, that ball was over the plate.
He's backed off about a half step.
That was inside. Had to jump over it.
Starting him off 0-2, and Votto, I can't prove this, but I bet you he's the best at turning 0-2 into a walk. Seems like he does it at least once a series. Musgrove comes back to strike him out. 1-2-3 inning for Musgrove, and now the Bucks get their chance to swing the bats. Things off, and for the Pirates, the RAV4 lineup with the names of all the dads. Josh Harrison's dad, Vince Sr., Austin Meadows in his first month in the big leagues, Cervelli, Moran, and Dickerson. His dad Tim having a great career against the Reds so far in this series as well. Bell, Polanco, Mercer, and Joe Musgrove rounding out the Pirates batting 9 today. First one from Anthony DiSclafani in for a strike. Up to 297 now. Just enough steam on that for Peraza to catch it on a line.
Needed more steam or less steam? It was just right in the middle. If it was hit harder, it would have been by him. Hit a little softer, he would have bounced. He would have had a backhand in the hole, wouldn't have thrown him out. That close.
DiSclafani back in action. We haven't seen him in a while. He making just his third start this year. Did not pitch at all in the major leagues last year. Just getting back after a couple of injuries. Had an oblique strain suffered in spring training. That's why we haven't seen him this year. He finally was healed after having a sprained ulnar collateral ligament last year, and in English, so that's that ligament in your elbow there that well, if you tear it enough, they have to do that famed Tommy John surgery on it.
Yeah, there's it's very rare nowadays for somebody not to have it and just have rest. I'm interested to see how his season turns out. Pretty sharp slider right there.
Pretty sharp arm sleeve there for Austin Meadows. Got the socks, the shoes today as well. Armbands. His first Father's Day in the major leagues. All the cool stuff that you get.
A lot of gear. Bats ready.
I hope those shoes have a little added protection. Ouch. Well, black and blue. Two and two on him. Able to lay off. Now DiSclafani, the you know, talk about the Reds offense with you would think would be a little bit better. The pitching has been in the bottom four in baseball in runs allowed. Meadows deep out to right center. And Hamilton with just enough room.
Yeah, right there at the end, he threw his glove up, kind of like to say, I got this. Up till that point, I wasn't sure. It's hit high, and he's just kind of drifting until he went up with the glove, and then that told everybody that he had it on the radar lock.
Look on our Allegheny Health Network Super Mo.
He can run down some baseballs.
Very speedy. And has become a good outfielder after being an infielder in the minors. Try to get that one toward the gap. Wow!
Amazing.
Even Cervelli has to applaud. That is one of the finest catches you'll ever see. Billy Hamilton with that headlong dive to rob Cervelli of extra bases.
I saw him start to dive, and in my mind I'm going, oh really? You think you can catch that? And he did.
That's incredible. You got to tip your cap. Billy Hamilton with a 5-star grab. making one of the finer catches you'll ever see. This is one of the ones where if you're the hitter, you have to applaud. Look where he starts. He's shaded that way. A look on StatCast. The catch probability is 2%.
Yeah, that's about what I would have guessed, I guess. Yeah, I mean, 2%.
We have milk in the fridge with a better percent than that. I mean, that is, you just don't see that catch made. The positioning,
like
the
I
jump.
said, I couldn't believe when I saw him start to dive. I'm like, really? He thinks he can catch that? In my mind, that's what I'm talking to myself, and he caught it.
I mean, DeSclafani's not leaving the mound until he wants to see that in the glove.
He should have been backing up the base. What he should have been doing.
I think we were all in disbelief, just spectators there. That was a fine grab. Well, Cervelli will get him next time. Now, Billy Hamilton was a second baseman coming up through the minor leagues. In his last year at AAA, became a center fielder. And even though he's not hitting this year, he does affect the game on the bases and in the field too.
Oh, he was. Let's say he was a lifetime 280 hitter. He would be one of the superstars of the game.
Yeah, he might go to the Hall of Fame.
With the other things he can do.
Yeah.
But it's just an if. Right now he's hitting closer to 180.
Meanwhile, Musgrove, instead of getting perhaps a little run support in that inning, on a couple of well hit balls. Trying to hold down Eugenio Suarez here. He
nice
is
pitch.
hitting though.
Nice pitch.
Well, they always say, right? You know, you pitch the better hitters in. That's kind of an old adage, right?
Yeah.
And down on strikes. I think that's what's so fun to watch with Musgrove is you just don't know what's coming or where it's going to go.
It's a backdoor slider, and it's on purpose. They weren't trying to. Most time, you're throwing that slider away, trying to get a chase off the plate. No, he's going to try and backdoor it, bring it in, and catch the corner with that slider instead. I mean, that's you don't do that all that often, especially with a right-hand hitter up there. And Suarez definitely got caught. I mean, he didn't even start the bat.
Nice grab there. And Musgrove has, I mean, his toolkit's so big, he wheels it in. It's like a big file cabinet or something.
Big snap-on boxes.
Yeah. but he has multiple pitches that he could throw different ways. Cervelli gets dinged on that.
I should say Mac, maybe instead of.
Oh, really?
In case you're watching, John.
Yeah.
There's the cutter, I'm guessing. Went off Cervelli's shoulder. He needs a bigger chest protector. And those little flaps on the side, I mean, what are they doing? Nothing. Don't make them flaps. Make them part of the protector. Now, I know the right one, I guess, can't be that big or you won't be able to throw. He takes a lot of shots.
It's tough back there. You know, there probably isn't
That just
a game.
doesn't look like much protection covering your shoulder. Guys have something better than that on their elbows nowadays when they're hitting.
Got to keep him healthy the way that he swung the bat this year. Musgrove strikes out Duvall. 3 strikeouts. He has retired the first 6 in order. next Sunday when they battle the Diamondbacks at 1:35. Kids 14 and younger take home a drawstring bag thanks to MLB Network. Plus, before the game, enjoy the family fun zone on Federal Street. And after the game, kids can run the bases on the field. Go to pirates.com/kidsdays for your tickets. There's the Golmick family.
Happy Father's Day!
Out here. Happy Father's Day. There's Scott. Hey, Scott, happy Father's Day.
How come Scott doesn't have a sun shield?
Moran out to right center, and Hamilton can't catch that one.
Kind of a magic performance was he going to put up with that one?
Colin Moran, wearing the colors of his alma mater today, slams his 7th home run.
You just got to hit him where Hamilton can't play. He can't sit in the stands. He has no ticket, so hit him up there.
Well, they've slid Moran into the cleanup spot, and he's homered for the 2nd day in a row. That was nicely struck.
Well, I was hoping when the season started, you know, in between 15 and 24, I thought would be a good number, and I was starting to get a little concerned as he got kind of stuck there for a while, but now 2 days in a row.
7 homers now for Moran, University of North Carolina. Kind of fun for him, moving into that cleanup spot to see what he could do. He's starting to do just that.
Oh, the hint of a smile there, I think. Just as, or maybe it's just hot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Corey Dickerson. Well, the Pirates, the last 3 balls that they've connected on, they've hit very well to right center. Good, gooder, and goodest. That's the only way you keep Hamilton from not catching it. He got first one was routine, second one was extraordinary, third one over the wall. Dickerson checking in at 8th best in the league in batting average. Has all the swag on today. Look at that.
Should have a post-game concert tonight with the Blue Band group.
There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of different paraphernalia that they can wear just for today. Got the caps, socks, undershirt there for Votto. Sky to Scooter Gennett. Got the flip ups on today.
A good day for that. A few scattered puffy clouds around, but for the most part, we're going to play in bright sun, it looks like, all day. Going to be warm by the time this comes over.
Yeah, 86 at game time, so it's already starting to feel summer-like.
Going to push 90, I would imagine, by the 9th inning.
Hot day to work for Musgrove. No stranger to that, growing up in Southern California.
Let's see a few more takers for the traditional bench back underneath the roof today. Trying to get in that shade. Staying away from the railing.
Yeah, maybe a little early raise and then start to sneak back.
Move back a little bit.
Josh Bell at 245.
Light blue hats. It might be a little cooler than the normal black hat.
Yeah. Duvall able to get there after 3 thwacks off the bats. A couple of week outs for the Reds and their defense today. We've already heard from Billy Hamilton out there at center field. Duvall at left, Scott Schebler out in right, and Eugenio Suarez very improved over at third. Peraza and Jeanette in the middle with Votto at first. And a Gold Glove finalist last year. Billy Hamilton, he's perennially among the finalists. Ender Inciarte, the winner last year, lined over second. And Gregory Polanco, a solid smash with 2 outs here in the second.
Backing off the plate. Maybe showing some positive results.
That's a pretty big adjustment. Jeff Branson, Jeff Livesey, the hitting coaches, working with Polanco, convincing him not to be right up on the plate because he was not hitting that pitch on the inner third or in ever.
Like the swing, everything stays the same, but your sight picture is what changes. And now that pitch that looked like it was in on you and it's tying you up because you backed off. And now your sight picture sees that pitch on the inside half is like right down the middle, or maybe even out there, which was his sweet spot at times, the outside half.
And that pitch, I don't know if they'll classify it as inner third, but it was close to that. Yeah. And if it is, then he has as many hits since he moved back off the plate 11 days ago on the inner third and in as he did the whole rest of the season combined. So opening up that avenue for him, because any pitch in that was a strike, he's either going to foul it off, yank it, right field, or miss it. Mercer got the bat up.
I hit him.
I think it deflected off the bat here.
Oh, why is Polanco going to second base? I think he hit it.
I don't think so, but that's what is being ruled. Let's see what happened.
It looked like he called it right away. I mean, he immediately stood up and pointed to first base.
Jim Rinkleman doesn't think so. There's only one way to find out. The Reds are going to challenge this.
The fact that Mercer didn't go to first right away, though, makes me wonder.
It sounded like it came off the bat or broke a bone, and that's why.
Oh, absolutely a foul ball.
That kind of hollowing sound. No, everybody's right up here. You were right, because let's hear it.
Same point to first.
Timmons signaled right away, and Mercer was not concerned because he didn't think.
If he would have saw him point to first, but he didn't. Yeah. He knew he fouled the ball off, and he acted like it was a foul ball. And nowadays it doesn't really matter anyway, because what the call is here, because the call is that matters is going to be made in New York.
So the acting isn't as strong. Foul ball. Guy can't get away with much these days, right? Jim Rinkleman wins the challenge. Thanks, guys. Yeah, what can you do? Well, we almost stole one. Back in the old days, manager might come out there and start picking up some dirt.
Maybe not on that one, but on certain calls, they used to have a lot of flare-ups between managers, umpires, players, and umpires. But that's a part of the game that has been eliminated. So. New York makes a call, and they definitely made the right call here.
And if you argue with that call that is not made by any of the umpires here, you're automatically ejected. Oh, Mercer now with a new chance. He's trying to do one better. He's been swinging the bat very well last 4 weeks or so. Checked it out today since May 18th, hitting at .329, slugging over .500. And getting on base better than .400. So all the numbers you like. Been a good month of baseball for Mercer.
Some long legs.
Trying to see if he can get in a scoring position with 2 away. Now Mercer called out on strikes, but the Pirates get the game's first run. Statcast says it would have gone 406 feet off the bat of Colin Moran. Pirates up 1-0.
As we move to the third inning, and Joe Musgrove is using a different grip on his slider today, something he began working on just a few days before his last start with Chad Kuhl. So what exactly is different?
The wrist positioning on my slider and my curveball are different, you know, and the curveball allows me to stay more on top, trying to think kind of more 12-6 action as opposed to like a sweeping slider. But I'm thinking slider and I'm holding it like a curveball, so I don't know if it's a combination of the mentality mixed in with the, you know, the arm speed of a slider type pitch, but they seem to be playing really well together.
So baseball is a mental thing, huh? Grip it like a curve, but think slider. Bob?
Oh, well, you know, nothing's crazy to me. I mean, I used to throw to a telephone pole coming up out of the middle of the plate. I mean, anything you can do to help is fine. And, you know, most pitchers, well, maybe not most guys that I used to play, you change, you always fill in with your grips. You're changing them all the time, sometimes during the game. So not surprising, especially with all of the different pitches that Joe throws. I mean, he's got like about 8 of them.
Yeah, with all the different variations,
yeah.
Right? Weak pop, but Bell can't get back on it. And Polanco not able to get there.
That's why I always just, I prefer to call breaking balls, because everybody has a different name on what they want to call their breaking pitch.
And you mean that could be the cutter, that could be the slider, that could be the curve?
Could be anything. I mean,
yeah.
I would never call a cutter a breaking pitch. I would call that a fastball.
Okay.
But
when you make it bigger, then
well, eventually the cutter, the bigger you make it, becomes a slider. And then in my thinking, that when the ball starts coming out of over the top of your fingers instead of off the fingertips, then it becomes a curveball. That's why you see guys try and get the index finger out of the way so that it doesn't drag on the ball as it's coming out over the top of your fingers. Anything that comes out over the top, that's a curveball. Anything off the fingertips is a slider. But that's me, and the guy throwing it always can call it whatever he wants to.
As long as the hitters can't figure out what it is, then that's
Yeah,
all
well,
that matters.
what's the difference between a splitter and a forkball, really?
Elroy Face would always say.
Well, Elroy would
Yeah.
say, about $5 million a year. But, it's all just, guys call them whatever they want. Curveballs used to be called drops, for goodness sake.
Yeah,
So,
change up, let up pitch or whatever, right? But for Musgrove, constantly trying to improve, and he's got really long fingers too. He says that helps him be able to kind of do a bunch of different things, especially with spin pitches. I would imagine that would be the case, right? That ball looks kind of small in his hand.
Here's the thing that he used to talk with Johnny Sain about a lot. He'd say, okay, now we know what makes a ball move. It's the type of spin. He's out. He would say, what kind of spin is going to make the ball move the way you want it to move? And you say, well, okay, I want the ball to spin like this. Now in your mind, just keep working backwards. Okay, you want it to spin like that. How's it going to come out of your hand so it spins like that? Now you're going to have to build your release around that to make the ball spin the way you want to. And then now all of that has to be with the mechanics that you can throw the ball where you want, with the power and the accuracy, because the greatest curveball in the world is not too good if you're throwing it 50 feet every time.
Yeah.
You got to be able to put the ball where you want to. And I really think that is the strength of Musgrove, is he's got all these pitches, but here's the square he's throwing to. He can just all around put it where he wants.
Yeah. Out, in, up, down. Hamilton with a base hit.
Got him. Maybe. Nope.
Wow. Surprised there was even a play there, and that was good heads up by Polanco.
Polanco, I don't know if he put up a glove, like maybe he was going to catch this ball or what, but
just timed it up. Got a catcher running at first, thinking ahead of time perhaps. Look on our Allegheny Health Network Supermo.
Well, he didn't run right away. I mean, that's what gave him the thing, and that's why I was wondering if he decoyed him by putting the glove up like he was going to make the catch. Casale thought he came to a stop and waited until he knew it was going to fall in. Then when he knew it was going to fall in, then he continued, and that made him vulnerable.
You just don't see an outfielder throwing on to force a runner like that very often. Maybe took it for granted. Nice heads up baseball.
I really just think Casale was in a rock and a hard place. I mean, if he goes halfway and gets doubled off first when he catches that ball, well, then we're saying, well, you can't go that far. So, I mean, he was in a tough, as Steve would say, a tight spot.
Yes. That'll move the runners into scoring position.
Well, didn't have real good command of that breaking ball.
Is that a changeup?
You know what? I wasn't looking at the grip. I was looking where Cervelli was set up. If that was a changeup, then it was a snap hook changeup.
Pirates lead baseball in wild pitches.
Got off to a great lead early on, and that's one of the reasons. I mean, it was just amazing how many. It was like 30 for the first month, something like that.
Then the Pirates went 3 weeks with that one, and now it's returned again. So Schebler negates the opportunity for a double play ball after the wild pitch. Hitting 154 with runners in scoring position.
A nice block that time. Now Musgrove did put this ball, where he wants. He's going for that strikeout. Would have been a 3rd and 1 out. So he's trying to get a chase. That is a back foot breaking ball, and he did everything he wanted to do with it. Just didn't get the swing and a miss.
Reds in this series 0 for 19 with runners in scoring position. And they'll get a run home even though they make the out.
That's on the wild pitch.
Casale scores the tying run here in the third. Give Schebler a run batted in. Hamilton at third now with 2 outs. Oh, hey, there's Mr. Parrot out here today. Say even on Father's Day, the Pirate Parrot has Dad here.
Not reading glasses on.
Hard to see the seed without it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The seeds are small.
Yeah. He's had a very discerning taste now through the years, so picks out just the finest of suet. Gonna get Peraza here. Saved all year for these tickets. Oh, wow. That's really neat. Pittsburgh son, so that's got to be Pittsburgh dad. Wait. Yeah. A Pittsburgh dad. That's nice. Out to right center, and there's the Reds' first hit with a man in scoring position all series. And that gives Cincinnati a 2-1 lead.
2-out RBI. Absolutely hate to give that up. You'll love it when it happens to you, but you don't want to give them up.
Not enough character.
Not a horrible pitch. It was definitely a strike.
Now Votto with a man on.
Look out. One went in the seats with a little velocity. A hop.
And Peraza has some wheels. He may try to get into scoring position here with 2 outs in the frame. 2 runs across for the Reds. Three singles in the inning, enough to plate 2 runs because of the wild pitch. Right on the edges.
They're thinking the same thing you are, that he may be running.
He's stolen 9 bags this year.
Like he was a little late in his reaction time to get back. Joe had already turned almost completely around before he moved.
Out to Polanco. There's the final out, but Cincinnati gets the tying and lead runs, and they're up 2-1. get some ducks on the pond themselves here in their half of the third. Let's look at our Allegheny Health Network injury update for the Dodgers. Rich Hill going to be returning. He'll be starting Tuesday against the Cubs. Clayton Kershaw will have a simulated game coming up on Tuesday, and trying to get that rotation healthy. The Pirates will be traveling to LA in a couple of weeks, so might see both of those left-handers. Hyunjin Ryu, some groin tightness, is going to be scratched from his next start. So the Dodgers having just like they did last year, just the rotation of their rotation. Richard Rodriguez throwing a simulated game yesterday, and Clint Hurdle pronouncing him ready to return when eligible tomorrow. So likely see him. Musgrove caught looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Anthony DeSclafani. Happy Father's Day. Very glad you made us part of your Father's Day. Josh Harrison.
He's taking his time, getting in there. Wants Joe to get back and get in that shade, get a cold drink. Part of being a leadoff hitter.
Yeah, taking one.
The other part is getting on base, cause a little havoc, maybe get that run back. All right, maybe both of them.
I like it.
At least one of them.
Pirates hit the ball hard against DeSclafani. The first four men of the order, all Harrison with a soft lineup, but then Meadows, Cervelli, Moran after that. And DeSclafani has struck out 3 in a row looking.
Second fielder, Justin Meadows.
Oba Patton, the junior PA announcer today, along with Tim DeBacco, the senior PA announcer. Austin Meadows. It went out to deep right center. A few steps shy of being out of here his first time. Tomorrow will mark a month in the major leagues for Meadows.
Seems like everybody's trying to, as you said earlier, work the ball inside on him. Where do you pitch good guys? Guys that can hit. That one was right down the pipe. Just that. That first time up, I mean, there was a high and in to low and in. They were all stacked along the inside corner of the plate.
Memorable first game, we hope for you. Father's Day 2018. Meadows is the final out. DeSclafani settles down for a 1-2-3 third, keeping Cincinnati in the lead.
big reason of why I'm here today.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. Thanks for everything you've done in my life.
Hey, Pop, want to wish you happy Father's Day, man. You know, being here and being in the situation I'm in, it's really special. You know, I feel like we kind of reached both of our dreams. Growing up, the things you sacrificed and the stuff that you gave me that allowed me to get here are things that I'm very grateful every day. So I wish you happy Father's Day.
Nice sentiments from the Pirates here on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you. Also to Wally Johnson, who celebrates her birthday today, number 89. Thinking of you, Wally. Lifelong loyal Pirates fan. Here Joe Musgrove working from a rundown to begin the fourth. Scooter Gennett been pretty quiet in the series. Reigning player of the month in the National League. He's adding on to a breakout season from a year ago. Now there's always that every year. There's a player or two, you know, cast aside and kind of surprises everybody. The Brewers are letting him go at the end of spring training. And the Reds, hey, you know, he grew up in Cincinnati, at least early childhood. All right, well, at that time they had Brandon Phillips, but all right, we'll pick him up, see what he can do. And ended up moving Brandon Phillips out of town.
Yeah, well, Phillips also was, you got to start planning. He was getting a little older. Scooter a lot younger.
So that was that. Working in with this Reg bunch that, you know, Luis Castillo, Jose Peraza, you know, some of these guys that you are very talented. The results just have not added up yet, all at the same time for Cincinnati. But Gennett individually has stood out. I mean, he may make his way to his first All-Star game this year. Hard to argue with that. On the second brain trust already for this season. The coaching staff, a couple of changes made. Manager. You know, Gennett, as we look at our Barrel Automotive League leaders, runs batted in. You got Suarez up there, Gennett up there in the top four. These are the 4 and 5 hitters that back up Joey Votto in the lineup. So, hey, on paper, you see the Reds and you think they're going to do at least more than they've done so far. 4 singles today off Musgrove for Cincinnati.
Another hit by Scooter. Just keeps hitting. Doesn't seem to matter who's out there nowadays either. Left-handers, he plays against them.
Hits better against lefties. That was not the case earlier in his career. Now Suarez. Last inning, 3 singles against Musgrove, but the Reds were able to get a couple of runs out of it. One was a wild pitch. Bounce out to the right side. Now Musgrove working from behind in the game, but ahead in the count. Suarez is only 26. I mean, you know, talk about this young nucleus. They've signed him to a long-term extension. Trying to build a nucleus. Hit well out to left, and Suarez hitting a long home run. That adds to the Reds' lead. His 14th home run.
You know, the thing that I've been bragging about Musgrove is a little off kilter today, and that's the command, you know, especially the breaking pitches. Remember we saw some that curveball last inning that wasn't close to where he wanted to. this is a breaking ball that's just hanging right down the middle. I don't know if that's the cutter or the slider. Just looking at it, it looks like a hard slider, but that really doesn't matter. The thing is, it's right in that center square, and it didn't make it through.
And the Reds now lead 4-1. Adam Duvall. I would wager to say that in the first 2 innings, Musgrove did have some pretty good command. It looked like he was able to locate, but third inning, as it moved on, that started to fade some. Hot day today. It had a long third inning and then a pretty short rest in the bottom half of the third, and had to bat.
Got it.
Bell. It's the foul pop for the first out. Musgrove still right in the mix of that. Like you talked about, Bob, I mean, he's a baseball player. I enjoy watching
the
that.
game.
Yeah, I enjoy watching that. Kirk Casale got that 2-run third inning started. A little soft hit out to right. Backup catcher now as the Reds moved on from Devin Mesoraco last month, trading him to the Mets for Matt Harvey. So they've had Tony Cruz, the ex-Cardinal, up now. Casale, the former Tampa Bay Ray, in that role. And dispatched for the second out.
Yeah. Throw one of those blue hats over the top of all 3 of those sliders. Every one of them right there.
Well, soft contact and a quick strikeout. Then you bring up the pitcher.
If you're playing the Reds.
Yeah, the Reds will bat the pitcher 8th when Billy Hamilton is in the lineup. I think that's the one time where it kind of makes sense, right? If you've got a weak hitting,
Never makes sense.
Okay. When you have a weak hitting, speedy guy.
If he's a worse hitter than a pitcher, he shouldn't be out there, no matter how many great catches he makes. Never makes sense.
There you have it. There's the ruling. Judge Bob.
Pitcher should hit 9th. He's a worse hitter. The only inning that you know who's going to hit first is the first inning. Correct?
The batters that follow Hamilton. So now Hamilton will lead off the next inning.
Did you know that when you made the lineup?
Well, Schebler will be behind him. I do know that.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
Here on Father's Day, the Renegades of the Rotunda always patrolling. And the Riverboat Queen making her way up the Allegheny. Pictures of summer. Last weekend of spring, technically. It definitely feels summer-like today. Parrot family here today. Now you got to get Pirates on the right side of the ledger, trailing 4-1.
Well, Cervelli really pounded one first time up. Maybe he'll get one of them cheap little broken bat doubles now that just hits the chalk line.
Oh, he deserves it after being
make up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, robbed. Outright burglary there by Mr. Hamilton. Long running catch toward the wall and diving headlong to make the play. I mean, this is special. And when you're the hitter and that happens to you, what else can you do?
Well,
say wow.
I know what Cervelli's going to do. That's always going to be his reaction. He's that type of a player.
All you could say is wow.
Yep.
And like you said, I like that. He's just going to pop one right down the line. He's just going to dunk in between the shortstop and the left fielder. He'll get 2 bases out of that. Always evens out. Unless it doesn't.
It's always that point of view too. The pitcher right now, he's thinking about Cervelli flew out first time up.
Yeah.
That's all he did.
An out is an out. Yeah, I don't imagine you go up there going, I really should have allowed a hit. Splintered his bat.
Throwing some nice sliders. Slider right in the cut part of those cupped bats. Just peels off a nice chunk out of it.
Well, that would make for a nice bat if that were legal. Nice flat side right there. If you like an oar.
Same pitch. That slider's working.
Starting to improve as the game's gone on. Colin Moran yesterday and today leaving the ballpark with home runs. That one really crushed. Estimated at 406 feet on StatCast. Moran with home runs in back-to-back days. Trying to solidify a cleanup spot that, the Pirates out of the 30 teams ranked 28th in OPS out of the cleanup spot this year. And so putting Moran in there, they're starting to heat up.
Nice footwork by Votto.
Retiring Moran for the first time today. The 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Pirates are represented on this year's squad by voting at pirates.com/vote. Vote for your Pirates now, and you can receive a buy one get one ticket offer for any game at PNC Park this season. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game, presented by MasterCard, July 17th. Live on Fox a month from today, the All-Star Game.
I like the fact that it's Camping World now is being sponsored.
Are there more stakes in the game?
Vast majority of my All-Star breaks were spent camping.
Oh, okay. See, right. Wow, apropos then. Yeah.
Usually didn't have anything else to do.
I've gone camping on the All-Star break too, come to think of it. Yeah, that kind of is our for if you work in baseball, right?
3 days off, you find a little cabin somewhere. Go get away from it all.
And then clamor to get right back to it. End up missing it. We had missed Steve yesterday. He was down in Florida attending services. Bruce Keeson.
Yeah, you had to carry the whole load on radio yesterday.
Just like the old days. DeSclafani, another 1-2-3 inning.
Health Network joined forces in Catch for Cancer to raise awareness for prostate cancer. Fundraisers committed to at least $250, played catch on the field, received giveaways, and of course 4 tickets to this afternoon's ballgame. Francisco Cervelli, Jamison Tyon, and Josh Harrison all taking part. And those who raised additional funds had a chance to win autographed merchandise and of course meet the players. I had a chance to talk to Josh Harrison about this shortly after it ended this morning, and again, he said last year it took place on Mazeroski Way, huge success, more than happy to do it again, and I think it was a bigger thrill because the kids got to actually get on the field.
Yeah, that's the neat part, being able to spend this. I mean, there was a nice article. Liz Bloom in the Post-Gazette wrote it the other day about baseball dads, and there's a game just about every day, and a lot of times the games are not in the same city. Most of the players live in a different state, different country, but trying to get them together. And Josh Harrison, fortunate in the sense that grew up not too far, a drive from here, and can reunite with his wife and 2 girls most of the time. But yeah, that's a challenge to try to coordinate all that. I mean, moving your family here after a time, once you realize you're going to be with the Pirates for a while.
Yeah, it was a long drive.
California.
Well, Hamilton on, I think, a changeup. It was too quick with the swing, broke his bat, but it didn't matter. Found a hole.
2 out of 2 today for Hamilton. And Hamilton has good career numbers against the Pirates, but had not really been hitting against the Pirates since he homered back in August the last time. He's been having a dry spell, but today with 2 hits.
Look at the size of his oven mitt. How long that is?
Like a tennis racket slid up his sleeve.
Doesn't it look bigger than the...
Looks more padded for sure. Gonna have a very toasty hand by the end of this sequence. He's running. throw on the money. Hard to stop Hamilton.
Especially when he gets an extra couple inches on his hand as he's sliding in. Now, nowadays with the, looking at, we look down to a half inch, whether a guy's fingers have touched the base or not.
That's a great point. I never thought of that.
I mean,
that could be an advantage.
Yeah. I'm sure they have some kind of a rule about how big that oven mitt can be. I gotta have one like 3 feet long.
Yeah, you've intrigued me to go find out. Yeah, right.
Well, they have dimensions on gloves.
Right. They've relaxed those a little bit in recent years,
but still, they do have dimensions on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that the oven mitt is some kind of similar ruling. It can only be so long.
Has it got Velcro on it? Keep you stay on the bag. Twisting toward the seats, and Moran out of room.
Yeah, the bags have a little roughed up surface, so I would think that would kind of hold a little bit better.
Now, how do you get your shoe tied with one of those things on?
See the little, I don't know what you would call those. It's like they've poured sand all over it and then painted it white. But yeah, wouldn't that grab a hold of that a little bit better so it wouldn't slide off?
How many oven mitts does it take to tie a shoe? So you got a Velcro there, Velcro shoes, right? Like when you're a kid?
No. Velcro belts.
That's for when you get older.
Velcro uniform.
Did you have Velcro or zipper or both? Velcro top part?
Kirk Gibson had a Velcro top part. Only guy I've ever seen. It had fake buttons down the front.
Oh, wow.
It was actually Velcro inside.
Wow.
It wasn't his idea, but he was always ripping his uniform off after the game and buttons going flying everywhere. So Roger Wilson got tired of sewing. They put Velcro in there. And the buttons were just for looks.
Wow. That's a fun fact. Briefly a bucko, Kirk Gibson. Might have broken that one too. No, this sounded hollowed. Hamilton's shown a great glove today. The other one that he wears.
Look how long that looks.
Yeah.
It does look like it's a couple inches longer than it really needs to be.
Well, that's a great question. We got to find out how that is interpreted by baseball. If there are regulations to it. Relatively new phenomenon. Certainly within the decade. Starting to see those pop up.
Well, I'd be surprised they don't have some kind of a specification for the size of those things.
Rare walk for Musgrove. Reds again with multiple men on here in the fifth. You can cheer on the Buccos and enjoy a Zambelli fireworks show next Friday. Pirates will host the Diamondbacks at 7:05 and then stick around for a post-game Zambelli fireworks. For tickets, go to pirates.com/fireworks. Papa Ray coming out.
Well, this is his fifth start, and the control has been just perfect on his first four. And so you're going to have, I would say, even if you're a control guy, 1 out of 5, where you're going to have to scuffle a little bit. It's not with all of his pitches, I think. Mainly it's with the variety of breaking balls he throws. I think he's been able to put the fastball pretty much in the areas he wants to. But he's got his work cut out for him now. 2 guys on, nobody out.
Trying to give him a little breather here too. Been a pretty. He's been out there a lot. There's been some 3 and outs on the other side. Hot day. Still pretty efficient pitch counts, which is the norm for Musgrove, even with all the traffic out there. Last 3 innings. And it'll be scooped foul. Peraza trying to set up the big boppers, maybe try to bunt his way on in the process. Peraza runs well, but has bounded into 8 double plays already. Trying to do too much.
Yeah, another thing that I've been bragging about is his defense. This was not a very smart defensive play. Does it look like he's trying to go to third?
Yes.
I mean, we're talking Hamilton here.
He's looking right at third.
Probably need to get the out. Now I can, you're down by 3 runs. You want to be a little aggressive on defense, but that might have been pushing it a little too far. Trying to prevent Hamilton from moving over on a bunt.
Yeah, if it's a plotting catcher or somebody, yeah, you got to think.
And it's a force out over there. So yeah, if it was even just an average runner, you're down by 3 runs, and you might need to take a shot at it because you don't want to fall behind any further. Now, if you had the lead, not all the time, just getting out.
But instead now, after the bunt hit, base is full with nobody out. Out deep to right center. Hamilton and Schebler are in. And Peraza caught between third and home. Below the ball. And he got him. Well, they said they made the tag. Made me nervous there.
Well, I don't know what Peraza was doing. The stop sign was up for him the whole time. There's that cutter. They're trying to get it in and jam Votto. Votto is a tough guy to jam.
And a big part of the plate.
But there's nobody out. I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer putting that stop sign up. There's the tag.
So the Reds run into an out. And that will be it for Joe Musgrove today. The Reds leading 6-1. Dovydas Neverovskis coming up. have collected 6. Joey Votto with a 2-run double. Reds running into an out. And now Dovydas Neverauskas on to try to put out the Flames.
And there are some. But, Peraza running into that out definitely helped the situation.
Hey, you think if he heeds the stop sign from Billy Hatcher, it's 2nd and 3rd and nobody out, and the Reds with a base hit could score 2 more. And now the Pirates have some options with 1 out in the inning. Still got to get through Jeanette and Suarez. No easy task. Jeanette, a base hit his last time. Votto out there at 2nd. Neverauskas in his 2nd stint this year. Made the ball club out of spring training. Was caught up when Richard Rodriguez hit the DL. Rodriguez due to return tomorrow. Comes on and walks Jeanette on 4 pitches.
Kind of thought they would give him a point by.
With the base open. Trying to go for the righty batter.
Yeah, down by 5 runs. Neverauskas certainly didn't want to throw him a strike.
Well, maybe the unintentional unintentional walk, whatever that is. Pitch around the guy. He said it better. Suarez has hit into 9 double plays, but homered last inning. Is that average back above 300? Easy velocity from Neverauskas. 2 Reds aboard with 1 out. 2 runs in. Suarez has been good in these situations. 357 with men in scoring position. And the Reds, you know, the law of averages, right? They start off the series going 0 for 20 with men in scoring position, and then 3 hits now in a row with men in scoring position to collect some runs. That was bound to turn. Hard to sweep a team. Hard to keep a team down 3 straight days.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, what do you always say? You win a third of them, you lose a third of them, and then it's the middle games. Well, you've already won the middle games. Number 3 is a tough one.
That's what had been plaguing the Pirates coming into this series, is that middle game. They never got swept, but they would lose the series, and today going for a series sweep. They had already won the first 2. Musgrove done after 4+ today, gave up 8 hits, struck out 6, was sharp early. And Neverauskas trying to strand the inherited runner, and the one he put on himself. Adam Duvall has struck out and fouled out today. Sitting at 188. Still always a threat, though. It's kind of been part of a rotation in the outfield this year, and doesn't play every day like he has in the past, but has still appeared in all but one game coming in. Most of the time being used as a pinch hitter those days off. Over in 202 runs the past 2 seasons, was an all-star back in 16. So Reds certainly have some talented hitters, and we were talking about that earlier with Votto there at second. Jeanette at first, having an all-star caliber season. Starting pitchers.
Get the netting back there now. You can't throw those. And that was automatic for years. As soon as that foul ball came over, you just tossed it up over your head into the crowd, but not anymore. All the netting. There's Joe.
Baseball Joe Vogel, who got to throw out the first pitch earlier in the series. Icon here at the ballpark. Strike away from getting out of it with no further damage. Pirates have come back to win this season when trailing by 5 runs in a game. And here only in the 5th inning, some time to do so. Trying to bail out Musgrove today. Full on Suarez, now full to Duvall here. Got Kurt Casale, 1 for 2 on deck. Right to Jordy Mercer. So Neverovskis keeps it right there, but it's still 6-1 Cincinnati.
AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. With express service, you're in and out in no time. Visit barrelservice.com to find a location near you. And by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
Josh Bell will lead it off. Pirates need to get the bats going. Down 5 here to start the 5th. That one wrapped to right. And Schabler stayed true to it and was able to haul it in. I always say that's the toughest play for outfielder, right?
And a little loft, though. Maybe that probably helped him out.
Yeah, that one was a good catch, but not up to Hamilton standards.
Oh, no. Stayed right toward the meeting point. The Pirates have not had a hit since Polanco's single back in the 2nd. There's Gregory's dad, Virgilio, here today watching son play baseball. How cool is that to be able to, you know, I mean, the kid plays t-ball at age 5 or whatever, and maybe they keep playing for a while. You get to watch him play. Well, man's in his 20s.
Got to see him hit a home run too.
Hamilton running out of room.
That's on video.
Polanco doing it for Dad today. His 9th home run. What a blast.
Point to his dad.
That's my son. I taught him how to do that.
You know what he did though a couple weeks ago? He said, "Son, why don't you move off the plate a little bit? Let's start that rumor."
He's 2 for 2 today with Dad in attendance.
He hit the heck out of that ball.
Makes it a 6-2 game.
Let's see where this pitch was. No, that was out where he's always liked that ball, out over the outside half of the plate.
Statcast projects it at 408 feet. Maybe that'll re-enliven the Buccos. Oh. Oh. Yes.
I don't think he kept the camera on him. He was so anxious to watch that ball. I would love to see what that video ends up looking like. It's just got to be going all over the place as he starts jumping around and pointing. Don't cool him off too much. Let him stay hot.
Two for 2 day.
Oh, that's got to feel good, right?
Proud son. Now Polanco. That's how the comeback starts. That one driven. But Schabler shading him toward the gap. And so 2 gone. Elias Diaz will pinch hit. one of the byproducts of keeping a third catcher, Clint Hurdle said, is to be able to pinch hit with either Diaz or Cervelli, whoever's not starting, while Jacob Stallings is here. Usually teams want to keep that backup catcher in reserve, but when you have a third catcher, you can use him for other things. And Diaz, the home run yesterday, and he's got the special eye black stickers. Make sure he says hello in memory of his father, Porfirio. Diaz with a home run yesterday in his start. Tim Timmons says outside.
I love it when I can hear the umpire like that. You know, those bats break and all that. It's like we're sitting in the first row.
Like what?
Like we're sitting in the first row. You can hear that bat break.
Diaz narrowly thrown out, but the Pirates get one back. Gregory Polanco with Dad in attendance, sending one soaring toward the shrubbery. Virgilio likes it. Hit a home run with the dad here at the game. Catching him in action, trying to record it. Look at some of our Point Park social media. Someone's got to get Polanco, his dad, some tickets for the rest of the year so he can get him to hit a home run every game. Good to see a smile again. I will second that. Hashtag Bucks Booth. There it is. There's proof.
Need to get that ball and present it to Dad.
Well, that would be nice.
Reggie, Dad would love to have that one.
Tyler Glasnow in the game. One pitch and one out.
There's Tyler's numbers on the season. Speaking of Tyler, I would like to say hi to Bud Hart. 97 years old. World War II vet. Watching us out in Shaler.
Hi to Bud.
Tyler is Bud's favorite player.
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Reds will leave DeSclafani in with the lead.
I don't know that, but I'm just guessing that probably likes him a little bit.
So you're not a truth teller then?
No, I'm a guesser.
Oh. DeSclafani has struck out both times today. Making his third start. And getting his first hit of the season. So man aboard. And I'll look at our Nissan road ahead. Milwaukee is coming to town for the first time this season, and Yolis Chassin against Trevor Williams in the opener at 6:30 for all the action. Freddie Peralta going to get called up against Jameson Town. Then Brent Suter off to good go of it lately against Chad Kuhl. Very much the same to be spoken of him. There's Mr. Williams. Kind of weird we haven't seen Milwaukee here yet. Only one series there. Right now they're the leaders.
Yeah, we got some work to do. Next 3 games. Trying to climb a little closer to first place.
Pirates entering the day 7 back of the Brewers. Well, with their come from behind win today, the Pirates then try to build on a 4-game winning streak. Sweep the Brewers, and just like that, you find yourselves 3 or 4 games out. That's how it starts with the Polanco home run. Now up to the bullpen to keep it right where it's at.
Quite get there.
Couldn't take a direct route, having to go around that part of the stands that jut out. Kind of tricky for the left fielder over there.
He did make that one nice catch in that same spot. Or that slide that he right in front of that fence.
Early going this season, boy. I mean, there was a month of April. Dickerson, maybe in an effort to keep himself warm, was really active out there and left. He had 4 assists that first month. He's got 5 overall, career high. Tough to turn 2 on Hamilton. They do get the lead out.
Never seen anybody do it, but in those scenarios, it'd be interesting to see somebody just go to first.
Right. You always think, right, you got to get the lead runner.
Because, well, Hamilton is good chance he's going to be at second base. So who would you rather have at second base, Hamilton or the pitcher?
And then you get to leave the pitcher out on a hot day.
Yeah.
That's you know, that'd be a lot to think about ahead of time. But if you're thinking that way, that makes all the sense in the world.
Like I said, I don't think I've heard people talk about it in the dugout a ton, you know, but it's one of those things that you'd have to really think, okay, if the ball's hit to me, and it's got to be a premier base stealer, somebody like Hamilton. And back when I was playing, it would have been like a Coleman, somebody like that, where they're a 90% guy that 9 out of 10 times they're safe.
Hamilton's already swiped one today. He's got 12 steals this season, which doesn't pop out at you because he just hasn't been on base all that much.
And Tyler, sometimes he's been better, but he's still not real quick going home.
hard to get much quicker than he's gotten to now because of that big frame.
You would think Hamilton is going to be running at some point here, especially he's got the 4-run lead.
Scott Schebler standing in his way. Hamilton was running on the pitch. What happened?
Well, what I think is funny there is there's a 1-0 count on Schebler. So why wouldn't he want to take a pitch and hit with a man at second base? Again, we're talking about Hamilton here.
Are you suggesting he didn't think that through? Because it didn't seem like it.
Well, I mean,
right.
why would he take that pitch?
That used to be standard.
I mean, it's not 0-1. If he's 0-1, okay, but he was 1-0. He could afford to take a strike, especially when in his ear he hears everyone say, "There he goes." He knows Hamilton is stealing. So he swings at the 1-0 pitch and fouls it off.
Now do take
lead.
here.
Look at that big lead.
Guess he's not going.
Well, what was that all about?
Why would you ever take a lead off that short if you're a pitcher even?
I would like to go down there and ask him right now, what were you doing? It's like a softball game. He had his foot on the back. Now he's explaining himself.
Well, the oven mitt weighed me down.
I don't know what that was about.
Brain cramp. Look at StatCast.
Now the lead he just had was about a foot.
And that's a swing and miss. And he's called out. A very close play. With first base occupied with 2 outs, you still have to throw out the runner on a drop third strike. Reds are considering looking at this, and they will not. And Riggleman makes the call, so they get the final out and keep it at a 6-2 score. See everybody out here on Father's Day. Harrison, top of the order, leading it off for the Pirates. Trying to bunt his way aboard.
Maybe he's trying to push that toward Votto. A little wide of the right of the base. See if you get a foot race with the pitcher. Beat him.
DeSclafani's been getting ahead of hitters. Hamilton has the first out.
He's been doing a great job with his pitch count also. 71 so far.
He's gotten ahead of the hitter 85% of the time today. That's hard to be down strike one.
Yeah. It's always, puts you in a much more aggressive position every at bat when you can go strike one.
This is the longest outing of the three for DeSclafani. Did not pitch in the major leagues last year. Amir Garrett starting to loosen. It wouldn't bring him in to face Meadows. Meadows has already hit 2 home runs off Garrett. Let's go Bucks.
Trying to get something going here. Down by 4.
Francisco Cervelli on deck. We turn the hat inside out. Rally cap. Well hit, but lofted up there long enough. Hamilton plays that. Next act. Well, Pirates have hit some balls far today. They've hit some balls hard today that have not landed in. Hamilton's been a big part of that.
And stealing hits, and usually when it's in the outfield, you're stealing extra base hits.
He did that on Cervelli back to the first inning. One of the finer grabs you'll see. Otherwise, for the Pirates, it's just been the home runs by Moran and Polanco, and Polanco adding a second hit, a single. Those are the 3 hits today. Starling Marte staying cool in the dugout, not in the starting lineup today. 4-man outfield rotation, so everybody gets a day. Doesn't have good career numbers against DeSclafani either, so easy decision for Clint Hurdle. Meadows back in there today. And Cervelli works a 2-out walk. And let's check back into the studios. Paul Alexander with a game break. Thank you, Paul. And Julio Teheran just activated from the disabled list. And with DeSclafani just coming off of it recently, going to be conservative with him and bring in Amir Garrett.
be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Here from PNC Park, 6-2 Cincinnati. Pirates trying to swim their way to a sweep here today, but they're going to have to be poised for a late inning comeback.
A mere 31 games for Garrett. 37 innings. A few times he gets to stay out there beyond just the inning that he pitches in.
Cervelli walking with 2 outs, and the lefty Colin Moran, who has homered today.
See a lot of left-hand pitchers who are the opposite of that. Way more games than they have innings pitched. I see that more often than vice versa.
Garrett was a starting pitcher last year. The Reds probably want to see him as a starter again at some point in his career. So he's able to go a little bit. Reverse splits though for him.
They got a gate open or something? What's going on? They're pointing to the bullpen. The bullpen's
They don't have a cart here, so
like what? What's that all about? You had umpires, players pointing at the bullpen, and then bullpen throw their hands up, and then apparently it was like, oh, whatever. They just go ahead and play.
Now 2-2 to Moran. He's hung in there against lefties. Good results last year, primarily at AAA. .227 this year without a home run, but has had very few at bats until recently against lefties. Goes off speed a couple of times to get him, stranding the 2-out walk and keeping it a 6-2 game. Great look on our Allegheny Health Network Super Mo. Gregory Polanco hitting a home run in front of Dad today. And great to see Virgilio here. Maybe communicating with some family. Yes, he hit a home run. He's got 2 hits today. Happy Father's Day. We show it in different ways. My kids today, they made me muffins and a card. Polanco hit a home run. We all show it in different ways.
I got a coffee mug today.
Did you? World's greatest dad?
Somewhere. So I think it's grandpa nowadays.
Oh yeah, you can do that, yeah. Well, you are the world's greatest grandpa.
Probably top 5.
Top 5. Now the rankings are just out, and Bob Walk has moved up. It's nice to feel appreciated today. I usually feel it a lot, but especially so today. Taking your son to a ball game. We were following earlier the no-hit try for Julio Teheran of Atlanta, and just coming off the DL, they pull him after 6 innings. Joey Votto here. A game-changing 2-run double that pushed Musgrove out of the game in the 5th. That followed that play that Musgrove slid to try to get the lead out. Everyone was safe, and then Votto came through with the gap shot double. That took it from a 4-1 game to 6-1 at that point. Yeah, you think a 3-run game in the 5th? Okay, you know, they've got the advantage, but you got a chance. Left. You got a chance, you know. 5 starts to really push the envelope. Last now in his 2nd inning of relief, walking his first batter. You know, you're talking about Glasnow last inning about the strides that he's made. I mean, the bottom line is he's getting big league hitters out and is doing a good job, and that's really the only thing that matters. But the other part of his game too that we've noticed is, you know, the walks have gone back down. That has been dangerously high really his whole pro career. Starting to get down under some very passable numbers now. We'll get one out there.
Yeah, one of the things too about Glasnow that, I mean, we don't know this for sure, but same thing that you just mentioned about Garrett. Probably down the line they're thinking about getting him back into a rotation. I'm sure they're still thinking about that with Glasnow also. He will get at some point, you don't know when, this year, next year, who knows, another shot at that rotation. Not just going to be, you know, the rest of his career in that bullpen.
Yeah, his ability is just too good. I mean, the fastball and the curveball. You know, he's experimented with the slider. Still occasionally throws a changeup, but you know, easy upper 90s heat with a snap curve, and
he's one of those athletic guys too, like Musgrove. Yeah, that can help himself out in some other ways.
Not a bad hitter too. So
run the bases. I mean, he's
very
like
fast. Yeah,
like a gazelle out there.
And he has pitched 2 scoreless innings of relief. And try to keep it as close as possible here for the later innings. On Sundays, always a tradition here that before Take Me Out to the Ball Game is sung. Also some more honoring of veterans here. So let's tune in to public address announcer Tim DeBacco.
Sport Clips welcome Pennsylvania National Guard Staff Sergeant Jason Toya. Sergeant Toya will be celebrating his 20th anniversary with the National Guard this year, having been deployed twice in support of Operation Iraqi and Enduring Freedom. We are thrilled to have him at the game today, celebrating Father's Day with his 3 daughters. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us in thanking Jason Toya for his service to our country. And now here to lead us with God Bless America is the Pittsburgh Opera's own Danielle Pastime.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Everything for sticking with me through all the tough times, from birth until now. I love you, man. You're the best. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, Dad. Happy Father's Day. Just want to say thanks for all those hours we spent in the backyard. Happy to be able to enjoy this day with you.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you. Wish you could be here, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and Mom. I love you.
Big Vince, my dad. Happy Father's Day. Love you.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. I miss you. I can't wait for you to come out and watch me play. I wouldn't be here without you, and I hope this day is awesome. And I thank you for everything that you've done for me. I love you.
Nice sentiments here on this Father's Day on the UPMC scoreboard. 6-2 Cincinnati. You think about, to make it to the major leagues, almost to every one of these guys. We talk about it on Mother's Day too. Moms and dads really sacrificing a lot for, especially today's ball player. Who, a lot of them have to travel and participate in the showcase circuits, and it's a lot more involved maybe than a few years back for most of these guys. Some having to forego maybe opportunities at work to have more time at home. Lots of money and time invested.
Don't get me on my soapbox. I know you're trying to bait me. I won't go there.
I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
For once. It may be the only time. But I just think in those situations especially, you think about what dads are doing for their kids and which dad wouldn't do it for their kid. But few select ones get to make the major leagues, and they continue to get to enjoy. That's our role.
Absolutely. It's all about the kids. I agree with you 100% there.
And if they play for fun in the backyard once in a while or all the way in the major leagues, it's still a great game.
That's the way it should be.
Here's the time where the Pirates need to advance. Down 4 here late. There's Papa Bear. Oh, sun's out.
Maybe get that new, could be a new shirt today, huh?
Yeah. Dickerson chokes up on the bat. Good bit.
coffee mugs, T-shirts. Those are all good, solid Father's Day gifts.
I got a half moon spade so I can do some edging.
Really?
Yeah. I did a very poor job of it with a regular shovel, which.
Oh yeah, you can't do it with a regular.
Yeah, well, I don't know that. I'm still new to home ownership, and it looks very bad. So that's a message.
Yeah.
Go back out and redo it. Put all that dirt back.
Yeah, you got to have the right tools.
Yeah. Learning on the fly.
4 or 5 years from now, you won't even be able to get in your garage. There'll be so many tools. That's what happens with that.
You start parking down the driveway, right?
No place to park in the garage. It's a tool shed.
Big breaking ball strikes out Dickerson.
Hey, he's throwing some pretty good breaking balls, these left-hand hitters.
Garrett brought in for that fact, and he strikes out Moran last inning. Dickerson right here on the spinner.
Same pitch. That one might have been a little further outside than the one that got Colin. That slider can be very effective against right-handers too. He can strike those guys out. And I saw a highlight of him. I think he struck out Baez.
Yeah, he's been more and more effective out of the Reds' pen. Well, we were talking about Glasnow last inning. Great comparison you made, Bob, between the Glasnow and Garrett, two arms that are, plus stuff. Came to the major leagues as starters, did not fare well, and it's old-fashioned, but it works, right? I mean, a lot of times, if you're just not going to have that success, go to the bullpen. Come on in. We're going to, at first bring you in some situations maybe that where the game is not on the line, and you can face major league hitters, but now you're trying to advance.
You have to have that right makeup of the bullpen. There has to be a spot for that type of pitcher out there. But there's no reason that cannot be an effective strategy to get a youngster acclimated to pitching and having success at the big league level.
Not everybody jumps right in, and Glasnow has now pitched a couple of times with a lead. Garrett now has ascended to a spot where he's kind of their lefty setup option. He struck out all 3 men he's faced. You can ascend and climb the ladder. Sometimes you got to do it 1 rung at a time, not 5.
As you said, he has a plus arm, a great breaking ball, and he can power the fastball by you as well.
Gregory Polanco's been hot today.
It's been an interesting matchup. The way Garrett's throwing the ball right now and the way Gregory is hitting it left on left.
Polanco has 2 of the 3 hits today, including a long home run his last time. Polanco splits coming into the day. He slugs about 80 points lower against lefties, so it's not a huge chasm as you would think. Left on left. Always can hear Tim Timmons. Steve Reich.
Two. I was a little late with my 2.
Okay. He's got a good slider going today.
Yeah. Lefties aren't touching it. Not yet.
Former college basketball player Garrett. Having to go through the Reds minor leagues once he decided that was not going to work out for him. Three and 2 now to Polanco, trying to get aboard here. Mercer next. And to backdoor him, but he'll draw the 2-out walk.
Kept throwing that slider, but he just had lost command of it after he got strike 2.
Well, just door creaks open. Polanco on base all 3 times today. Mercer lined out his last time. Got that average up to 260. A little higher coming into the game today. That's that one hard and through. Hamilton charging that ball, limiting Polanco to second.
Tying run, getting closer to the plate.
Here's a chance for the Pirates to lessen the deficit to 2-out base runners. And after Mercer's first hit of the day, pitcher spot coming up. David Freese announced to bat for Glasnow. And the Reds are going to make a double switch here. So Jim Riggleman out. And Garrett will be done. They don't want the lefty to face Freese. Guess who? No bullpen card needed for Jared Hughes.
Look at former Pirate Jared Hughes with his famous run-in from the bullpen. But, you know, they use a cart in Arizona, as we saw on the last road trip. So let's go to the tail of the tape. Jared versus the cart. This courtesy of our friends at FS Ohio. Man or machine? Of course, Robbie Mikowski and Stephen Brault had a nice little ride in the cart while you guys were in Arizona. I like the cart, but I dig the fact that Jared still likes to hustle in. I like it.
Yeah, he was able to beat the cart. Not surprising. Thanks, Danny. That's fun. And what's not fun is facing Hughes lately. Not allowed a run since May 2nd.
You know, I'm not really surprised that the cart's trying to make a comeback. I thought it would be driverless, but at this point, you know,
I can see that.
If you're going to be cutting edge, I mean, that's the way to go.
Yeah. Freese pinch hitting, and David 0 for 9 lifetime against Jared Hughes. Came through with a big pinch hit single yesterday, driving in a run.
knows he has to try and make Jarrett bring the ball up. Anything down around the knees, very difficult to hit in the air.
And that one squirts through. Polanco is in, and for the second straight day, David Freese an RBI pinch hit single. No look now, the tying run coming up.
Got the ground ball, but you can't always get it hit in the right spot. Freese just kind of poking at that slider.
Ramping off the mound and through. David Freese get the job done. And the Pirates, who trailed by 5 at one point, bring the tying run to the plate. Josh Harrison. And Mercer streaks to third. Good anticipation. The ball didn't get very far away from Casale.
Mercer being out at second base, he probably has a little bit better look at that. This one's through.
Mercer in easily.
2 ground balls in the same exact spot.
And the Pirates with back-to-back RBI singles have made it a 2-run game here in the 7th.
And now the go-ahead run, it comes to the plate in the form of a left-hander at Meadows.
Those 2 runs charged to Garrett.
Garrett was just cruising. He's just striking everybody out.
4 straight Pirates have reached with 2 outs. Freese at second. Harrison trails him at first. Austin Meadows facing Jared Hughes for the first time. Meadows 0 for 3 today.
Easy scouting report. Throw sinkers. Make sure you get him up. Try not to have to hit his pitch. Now, eventually, if he gets ahead of you with 2 strikes, now you don't have any choice. You have to go after the ball that's down around the knees.
The Pirates have scored twice here in the 7th. Ball that shoots the gap here could tie it. And Votto to Hughes recording the final out. Pirates get 2. 2-run game as we go to the 8th.
to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Pirates have pulled to within 2. Trying to launch a 5-run comeback. They've made it 6-4. Josh Harrison following David Freese's pinch hit single with a single of his own, driving in a run. And he wins ball game here in the later innings. Pirates now elect to go with Michael Feliz.
Yeah, we're back into it right now. He's got to put up a 0 here. Just a 2-run game. It's always a crucial inning when your team has crawled back into a game like that. That next half inning, keep the momentum going your direction. Get your guys back to the bat rack.
Feliz threw 25 pitches yesterday. Has been seldom used, but will work in back-to-back games here. Allowed a run in 1 inning. That was Brandon Dixon's first major league home run that he permitted yesterday. There you go. Well, as long as you end up with it, right?
Yeah, I believe he knocked it down, but picked it right back up.
Upstairs heat and 1 out.
High target. He nailed it.
Kurt Casale, he pinch hit yesterday against Feliz and struck out looking. Musgrove went 4 1/3. Neverovskis with 2/3. Glass now 2 innings, and now Feliz. It's going to stay fair and no chance.
Even a catcher could beat that one out.
And add that to Casale's resume.
Infield hit. Check that box off now.
I suppose, right? I probably was open still. Feliz will try to work around it. Alex Blandino came in on the double switch last inning. He is hitless in his last 16 in his first major league action. 232. Out of Stanford. That was a hit and run.
Guy, huh? Stanford.
You think the whoever graduates last in the class at Stanford is still smart? Probably so, right?
Oh yeah. It's like first anywhere else.
Blandino was taken in the first round by the Reds. Players are eligible after their 3rd year, so I'm not sure if he's graduated from Stanford yet, but hey, just to get in. Another hit and run, but no hit, and he's out.
Normally you put hit and runs on guys that are, you know, contact pitchers, but Feli's always been a strikeout guy, a swing and miss type pitcher, so it's very risky to put on a hit and run with him. And he's not always a perfect strike thrower either.
And Casale had never stolen a base in his big league life, so not like if the play was busted, he was going to beat it.
I like the beer. That's what I'm in.
I wish I could do both. Hey, on Saturday, the Pirates will take on the Diamondbacks at 4:05. First 20,000 fans in the ballpark take on a Sean Rodriguez walk-off bobbleheads. Thanks to Central Blood Bank. And before the game, come on out to the Jim Beam Block Party on Federal Street, featuring live music, food trucks, John Candelaria signing autographs. Pirates.com/bobbleheads. Get your tickets. Commemorating his first game back with the Pirates last year.
That was a troll, wasn't it? That was holding the beer with wild hair.
I believe so. Part of the troll family.
I thought it was a troll. That's one of my favorite movies, Trolls.
I'm sure I'll be watching that one real soon too.
Watching that put me over the edge to be a great grandpa.
Yes.
That's one of the things you have to do. Sit through that movie.
Here's Dad's gift. And taking some sports action. I think Robbie's going to be at that game. Or was at that game, I should say. That's yesterday. I never know what day of the week it is. You ever get that feeling?
Yeah, when we have those Wednesday day games.
Yeah. I think it's Sunday, and then the next day.
I think we just had the weekend just got over.
Well, let's see if we can get a man aboard. Pirates did bring the tying run up against Hughes in the 7th. That little one hanging in there. Mine have already left. They made it through 5 today. He's a little one. I would like to request time, gentlemen.
Oh, he is so much fun to watch play this game.
If we talked about this before, if a knight, you
transformed
into a baseball player. I mean, with all the regal chivalry of knighthood, Sir Valley would come to the plate and doff his cap. Called a strike. I guess so. Over the borderline. Nay, I say. You get a second opportunity to swing the bat. That sounds good, but right at Hamilton.
Don't hit it at that guy. Pick somebody else.
This was earlier today. He really ripped one to the right center field gap, and Hamilton made one of the greatest catches you'll see. All you can say is wow.
Cervelli, a nice clap for him, and that's what you were talking about. Tipping the hat.
Sportsmanship. True sportsmanship.
There are some players that would have bounced their helmet off the dirt since that ball was caught.
What can you do? It was a sensational catch. Moran followed with a home run, but that was the next inning. You never know how things are going to go, but if that ball even pops out of Hamilton's glove and ends up being a double, and Moran comes up in that first inning, who knows? Might the scales have been tipped? Still, though, the Pirates within shouting distance. They've taken a 5-run deficit and made it 2. And even though Hughes allowed the 2 inherited runners to score, nothing on his ledger. He has gone 15 previous appearances without allowing a run. Even though he allowed 2 two-out singles when he came aboard. Votto to Hughes for the second out.
Drive hitters crazy when Hughes is out there, and you know that their game plan, they know exactly what he's going to throw. They have a plan how to deal with it, and then they hit the ball straight into the ground.
Yeah, when he's right.
How many ground balls he's given up?
Well, the singles were ground balls.
4 ground balls, 5 ground balls.
4 out of the 5 hitters. Yeah, you just look on your scorecard there, Bob.
I have a pretty good memory.
Yeah, ground ball out, line out, and a ground ball out.
There's the sinker. It's 2 in a row, huh? Did that get you?
Yes. Huh? The Reds have some interesting defensive positioning on Dickerson. It wouldn't count as a defensive shift because there are 2 infielders on either side of the second base bag. But even Hamilton, now he's starting to move back over, but Hamilton was kind of plugging up that gap before 2 strikes.
Playing in a pole in the outfield and the infield.
Usually you see him.
Yeah, opposite. They did the same thing when Meadows was up there. Play him to pull both ways.
Almost using Hamilton as a 5th infielder. You know, if the ball sneaks through, he can charge it. I guess, right?
I think they just with Jared out there, I think he's going to, if they put the ball in the air, it's going to be in that gap.
And because of that positioning, that's an easy hit.
Another ball right down on the ground.
That brings up the tying run. That makes up for Cervelli's hard line out, right?
He hit that right out of the glove, didn't he? This was real close to being in the leather.
You can swing late like that, right? When you choke up, I mean, you get a little less lever.
Those 2 guys, they know all about it. Votto's been hitting like that for years. He's the master at that.
Yes, he is.
Late swing, choking way up.
Probably telling him, hey, you just stole my bit. Bell
able to get him in the air. That ball was down away with sink.
If he can connect right here, Pirates can knot the score. They were down 5 entering the 5th. Couple of borderline pitches there.
Yeah, Pirates might have caught a little break on that one. Looked like it was on the edge.
Not right where Casale wanted it.
No, with him throwing, with the Hughes throwing, he's going to sit in the outside corner all day long. And so when he has to reach back to his backhand, even if it's right on the inside corner, it makes it look like it's way inside. Catcher reaching that far.
Pirates hoping for another 2-out rally. Polanco has not been retired today. Bell shoots one into right. And the tying runs are aboard.
They made Hughes bring the ball up. That ball, of everything he saw, was by far the highest. About mid-thigh. It was 3-1. You know, Hughes was thinking, I don't want to put him on base, so tried to elevate it a little bit, make sure he threw a strike, and it got smoked into the outfield.
And they want their closer, Raisel Iglesias, trying for a 4-out save, but the Pirates have the 2 tying runs aboard here in the 8th. And back in the 5th inning, starting this comeback try with his 9th home run. Soaring shot to center. Dad Virgilio here to celebrate. Well, now Polanco with a chance. If he can repeat that feat, helping the Pirates go back into the lead. Brandon Dixon in the game at second on the double switch.
I think today, the way he is swinging the bat, I mean, you could hand pick somebody to come up and hit this position where, you know, you're looking for a extra base hit, a long ball. That would be great. Polanco's who you want up there. Of course, they're countering with their closer, probably just for that reason, because they want to cool off the hot guy and go with their best.
2 on with 2 out. Interesting they choose Iglesias now because lefties slug .520 against him. Righties just .160. Big split there. But he is their best reliever. And career-wise has had nice numbers against Iglesias.
I guess so. Yeah, the simple answer, they did not want Hughes pitching to him, apparently.
Reds have another lefty, Wandy Peralta, that they did not have up. Now 1-2. We'll see if Polanco can get on again.
I think he wants that one back.
Dickerson out at second, Bell at first. Down 2 outs in the 8th. And Polanco comes through again. Dickerson is home. Bell will be waved around. And he is out. They throw out Bell, trying to score the tying run in the 8th. Polanco makes it a 1-run game, though. And that big hit by Polanco. Pirates considering to take a look. But indeed, looks like Bell was out. Throw on the money. Casale there.
He definitely closed the door, didn't he?
Yeah, the throw took him to the plate, so that's going to be considered legal for him to kind of block the plate like that as a bang bang play. I think.
I like the way you say he kind of blocked the plate.
Well, I'm going to take a look and see here.
He dropped both shin guards right down in front of home plate.
They let you some leeway to, as the throw comes. Well, now look at that. Now that's a little bit different than I saw it live. That's different than I saw it live, Bob.
This was 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, that's no question. That was just a great play by the catcher. But with all the rules now, you know, the no contact rules, are you allowed to sit down in front of home plate?
They're challenging safe out and whether it's blocking the plate. So two things here on this play that the Pirates are looking at. Yeah, live I saw it a little differently, Bob, so I want to amend what I said here. You know, this is, you know, one of those situations where it's going to be a pure judgment call here in New York, I believe. Let's find out the call. He is still out. And so the tying run thrown out at the plate to end the 8th inning. This is an interesting call from New York again, because Josh Bell trying to score, not
well,
given.
I was asked about 3 weeks ago about do you believe in the should there be a Posey rule? And my answer was, well, as long as the catchers can't block home plate, well then yeah, I'm fine with it. But what's Bell supposed to do there? I mean, how is he going to get to home plate? Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere for him to go. Unless it's a bang-bang situation, but it wasn't. Once we saw it.
There's nowhere. The only way he's going to score here, I mean, he's got 2 sets of shin guards sitting in front of home plate. The only way he can score is to blow up the catcher, but that's against the rules. So I guess we just need to make it a force out, right?
Well, you said it a few weeks back that it's either no contact or contact, and then you can make it simpler.
Again, yeah, it's like it's one thing one time and another thing the next time. What is it?
Kind of hard to figure.
And how is that legal? But you can't run over the catcher. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, I think the one thing, and we saw this with Matt Kemp, that led to him ended up getting suspended for a game, which he's still appealing right now. But with the Dodgers, he ended up pushing over the catcher to try to score. But the problem is you got to make up your mind to do that, and you don't know until the last moment there, because Sally's blocking the plate. You're already into your slide. So
yeah, he went into head first slide because he thinks it's going to be a sweep tag. Well, no, there wasn't a sweep tag. All of a sudden, he was playing against Sosha. You know?
Yeah. And,
so
and sliding into 2 shin guards, you can get hurt. I mean, the runner, what about protecting the runner too? I mean, you're not expecting to run into shin guards.
Well, and I hate to be put in this position, but because I think this is a great defensive play.
Well, no doubt, right.
I mean,
but under the current rule system,
that's what, catchers,
it's confusing.
Catchers have been paid to do for over 100 years.
And that's the tying run that is prohibited from scoring. So, I mean, that's a huge play in this game.
Oh, it's the play in the game.
Edgar Santana on here in the 9th. After the leadoff hit by Billy Hamilton. Well, hopefully it'll just be a footnote when the Pirates launch their 2-run bottom of the 9th. Pirates have battled back. Down 5, now down a run in the 9th. Santana tasked with keeping it right there. Hamilton runs, and he'll have his 2nd steal of the day.
If there's any kind of a leg kick, you're not throwing him out.
You got to be, everything's got to be just about perfect. Now in scoring position with nobody out. Don't want to have this comeback try negated here in the 9th. 1-run game. Anybody with 1 swing can tie it. Schebler out to right, and this one gets out of here. That is a crushing 2-run home run here in the 9th. Well, a moment ago, saw the potential tying run right at the plate. Now it's a 3-run game just like that.
This is a tough way to watch this game go here at the end. After watching those replays, I really expected Bell to be safe, and now 2-run home run.
I mean, going back to that last inning, if Bell is, if that play's overturned and he's safe, the inning continues with Polanco in scoring position. So there's no doubt that, or there's no guarantee that the Pirates wouldn't have scored another run and had the tying run across, maybe even put across the go-ahead run. Instead, now the Reds.
Well, you'd have
a 3-run advantage.
The nightmare out there pitching also.
Yeah. But I think it was a good call to go to Santana here because, you know, he's been one of the more reliable guys out of the Pirates' pen.
But I mean, in a tie game, you would have nightmare out there.
Oh, no doubt. But Hurdle did not go with a guy that's customarily used when the team is down. He wanted to go with one of the guys that usually protect leads to try to keep it a 1-run game. So Schabler just tagging Santana here.
I don't think Santana would be out there though in a tie game.
I understand, but Santana is one of the better relievers for the Pirates that's used to protect leads normally, and so instead of just going with more of a mop-up guy here, I like the call.
I was commenting on the what if it was a tie game.
Oh, I see. Well, gets it to Santana for the first down.
What would be different?
All what ifs now. After the ruling from New York and the home run by Schabler, quite a different scenario now. Now Joey Votto. Really that key 2-run double. Blasting that ball to right. Bounding away from Polanco, but Votto just coasting for a double. Now some hard hit balls off Santana here in the 9th.
Votto a little bit further down toward the end of the bat. Well, he's early in the count. Able to generate some more bat speed. Gave that one a pretty good ride.
Brandon Dixon batting for the first time today. And holds the runner and gets the second out. Votto there with 2 away. 2 doubles today for Votto. Getting that average right back to 300, where it'll probably reside the rest of the year, knowing him. Suarez a 2-run home run back in the 4th. Now the Pirates' pen today entering this inning. Neverauskas 2/3 scoreless, stranding a runner in scoring position. Glasnow 2 scoreless. Feliz faced the minimum in a scoreless 8th inning, allowing the Pirates to get right back within a run, but here 2 across in the 9th. And underneath it, Meadows gets the last out. Last chance for the Buccos. They need 3. Jordy Mercer leading it off in the bottom of the 9th. Williams will get the ball for the Buccos against Yolis Chassin and the Brew Crew. And our coverage here on AT&T Sportsnet begins at 6:30 with Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. There's Trevor Williams. Scott Schebler hoping the game is not out of reach after his 2-run home run. Need to get 2 on to bring the tying run up now against Raisa Iglesias. Yet to retire a batter, but got the final out at the plate in the 8th. Jordy Mercer singled his last time. Pitcher spot due to follow, and the Pirates going to have Starling Marte in the on-deck circle with Josh Harrison due up third. Marte got the day off today, but he'll get in there. Mercer strikes out to start the 9th.
Get a couple of guys on that trying to look
yeah, they've done it.
Moran, one of those 2 guys maybe being a big hero.
They've done it the last couple of innings, not only scoring but having the tying runs in position.
We need a hero. Looks like a Viking hero.
Yeah. Moran already has homered today if it gets down to him. Marte pinch hitting 1 for 2 as a relief batter. Iglesias has had 4 or more out saves this year. That's going to be trouble for Suarez. He can't get Marte.
Can't.
Need 1 more to bring the tying run up.
Kind of an advantage that Marte gets when he falls behind 2 strikes. Third baseman all back up. And he'll top a ball and forget it. It's a base hit.
Just barely beat it out, right?
I guarantee you Suarez just moved back. He had the guard against the bunt first couple pitches.
Man on for Jehe. A healthy cut. He came through with a 2-out single his last time around. Brought in a run. Not going to bother holding Marte on with a 3-run lead. Need that rally one more time. Pirates have battled back to score 3 runs here late. 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. They need 3 more here in the 9th. That one will roll foul though.
Again, the 2 strikes and a top ball down the line. Suarez is going to start. What in the heck's going on? Are they trying to do that?
Sometimes you hit it just badly enough. If that one stayed fair, that would have been another hit. Marte is aboard. Need another to bring the tying run up here in the 9th. 1 out. Harrison is 3 for 8 lifetime against Iglesias. those rally hats. Maybe bring up Meadows as the tying run. Now the way it was caught didn't look like a strike. Harrison gets a reprieve. Reds fans making their way over. That one hit too well. That's the second out as they get the force.
Suarez very deliberate fielding that ball. Took his time. Made sure they got one out. Good sized lead.
Make sure you don't put two men on. Meadows trying to keep it going. He's hitless today. Pirates had battled back to have the tying run thrown out at the plate in the 8th inning after being down 5 runs. Bell thrown out, and after the replay decision, Kurt Casale not blocking the plate as ruled by New York. Harrison was already drifting into second anyway. It'll be defensive indifference. He's already on the move. Scott Schebler with a 2-run home run in the top half of this inning, extending the Reds' margin. They're trying to get out of here with 1. We'll go back to Cincinnati and take on Detroit after the off day tomorrow.
Playing some American League games. Didn't they just come from Kansas City?
Mm-hmm.
Doing what we did beginning of the year.
Yeah, Pirates had more than their share. First 2 series of the year. Cervelli would be next if Meadows can get aboard, and if he does, the tying run is at the plate. Casale wants to make sure. Hot day today, so thanks to all our camera operators for hanging in there today.
Yeah, they had to be smoking hot up there.
Top of the batter's eye, closer to the sun. Iglesias looking down. Now ready to receive the sign. 3-1 to Meadows. Iglesias faced 1 batter in the 8th, and he may face Cervelli, who was 3 for 5 lifetime against him. That one gets through. Meadows keeps the Pirates alive. Harrison is in to score, and the tying run's coming up here in the 9th.
Clutch base hit.
Ooh, some late tailing action
that
too.
was a tough one to go after.
Able to get just enough on it. RBI 11 for Meadows. Keeps the game going. And the Pirates with a chance here. Cervelli narrowly missing extra bases back in the 1st. He lined out sharply in the 8th inning as well. So he's hit the ball hard a couple of times today. keep that line moving. Topped it down the line, but foul. Two strikes. Now Cervelli didn't have that Schebler home run. 2-run shot right now, the difference. And he could tie it up for the first time after the Pirates fell behind today. It's Father's Day. We don't want to go home just yet. Does not get the call, and it's 2-2.
It's a couple of calls that he hasn't got right here in this ninth inning that looked like they were pretty good strikes, especially the last one that was. He had the whole ball in the strike zone.
Another shot for Cervelli. And Iglesias threw it by him. And some late contact on the backswing with Casale.
Smoked him with the backswing, but what a way to see this game end.
Now the Pirates with several valiant comeback tries, but Scott Schebler the difference with his 2-run home run in the ninth. And Raisel Iglesias and the Reds are going to get out of here with 1.
Yeah, I was fairly confident there going into the last couple innings. It looked like momentum had swung back our way, but Schebler put it into that momentum stuff.
So Iglesias with the save. Pirates win this series 2 out of 3. But on Father's Day, the Reds prevail in the finale. 8-6 the final here this evening. And let's go out now to Paul and Michael.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. And I don't know if it's the big one that got away, but there were certainly opportunities for the Pirates to kind of take this one away from the Reds.
Yeah, both teams today were very relentless. It was one of those boxing matches that goes 15 rounds and you have to wait till the very end for the judge to hold up who's the winner. Just both teams did everything they could to possibly win this game, but they also gave runs away, and the Reds just came on top. They were the better team today, through and through, all the way around.
Good news is the Pirates take the series. First time in 9 tries they've been able to do that. On this extended homestand, the Pirates will have an opportunity to hopefully make some ground as we get a little closer and closer to that halfway point in the season. That All-Star break looms kind of in a weird sort of way. Reds win it by the score of 8-6 on this Father's Day. Michael McHenry and I will be back to break it all down on Pirates postgame. All of that and plenty more straight ahead right here on AT&T Sportsnet.